Um, and if 3 or 4 people want to share, that would be totally cool. And then after that, oh, by the way, if it's okay, you could type privately into the chat to Tracy if it's not okay to be recorded. I'm not going to share it. I just want to look at it to sort of kind of like, like Monday morning quarterback type thing, just sort of look at it and refine stuff or whatever. So be aware when you share that share something that you don't mind being recorded. And so what I'll do is, like I said, I'll initiate it. I'll start the conversation. Jeff Ward is here. I'll pause for just 1 second. Jeff Ward is, we used to, and still do, call him Senator Roy Goodman, Republican liberal from Manhattan. So welcome, Senator. We're so happy that you're here. So anyway, yeah, so we'll have a conversation, and then I'm going to listen to it. And when things sort of jump out at me, I'm going to then do an improvisation at the end of this and try to remember and incorporate. And try to remember and incorporate things that that I remember.
Whatever celebration from our conversation. It's going to be freaky.
It's going to be totally freaky. Yeah, so again, like if you can leave yourself unmuted if you want, but if it gets noisy, Tracy will just go ahead and mute everyone, I guess. But for now, it's totally fine. I just wanted to just take a moment and just kind of recognize, first of all, to tell you how grateful that I am that you're here, but also just, I know that there are people who are not feeling really great right now. And so I just want to just to acknowledge that. And I want to offer our gathering up, for the people in the universe that aren't feeling so well. And hopefully these vibes will go ahead and help out a little bit. So,
and her playing her Steinway at her house.
So Trace, you actually, if you could go ahead and just mute everyone, that would be great. Cool. So the first thing that I wanted to say is that I was trying to think of what to talk about tonight, and Una reminded me of something a quality that I have, and she says this to me a lot. I love to talk to people. Like I just love to talk to people on the street. I love conversations. I'm curious about, I see characters and I want to engage them and stuff. And Una said to me, she said, when you see people on the street, she said that she thinks that the conversation is either going to be 30 seconds or 30 minutes. And I think that's true. And even myself, when I approach people on the street, I think that this could just be 30 seconds or this might be 30 minutes. And so case in point, we, for the past year, we like to go out for walks and stuff and get coffee and walk with coffee and talk and stuff. And so I went into a local coffee shop here called Kiro Corinne. And I went in and I was with Una and we ordered coffee. And I took the coffee and I said, thank you. And then the guy goes, have a great day. And I said, I will, like that. And then he said, do it. You won't. Like that. Like, do it. You won't. And I was like, well, and right away in my mind, I thought oh, he wants to play. I was like, he wants to play. And so I was like, yeah, I am going. I was like, I will have a good day. I'm going to have a good day. And I went outside and I was like by the window, like pretending like I was trying to have a good day, but like I couldn't have a good day. And uh and like in my mind, I thought like, oh man, that guy forevermore will be someone on my list of people that I know really like to play. You know what I mean? So like every time I go in there, if he's there, I know it's playtime. Like I can play with that guy. And uh, basically, I think everyone on this call that I know, I think is sort of in that same category. In particular, I'll point out Paul, um, who is on this call. So when I met Paul, we were both working at a restaurant called The Globe on Park Avenue. And I had been working there for a while, and Paul just got the job. And so I didn't know him yet, but he and I were going to be working the same shift. And he was sitting in the break area, and I hadn't met him yet, and he was eating a hot dog that he obviously had gotten outside because I don't think they serve hot dogs there. But the manager, this guy Joe, is kind of a jerk, and he goes to Paul. He walks up. He goes, "Hot dog? I'd never eat. I don't eat hot dogs, like or something like that. I'd never eat a hot dog." And Paul didn't even blink an eye. Just looked at him and said, "Really? Well, how do you get your nitrates?" And I thought like, oh my God, I love this guy. And I will be friends with him for my whole life. And so far, so good, right? So another person that is always game to play is our super in our building, Oswaldo. He is really supportive. He comes to, I'm sure he'll probably come to one of these nights. He comes to plays. He's just a really supportive guy. And when if he comes to see me in a play, he will not let my character go. Like he will talk to me as if I'm my character. So to this day, he's still talking to me as if I'm characters from plays in the past. For example, I was in a play called K, Joseph. And in K, Joseph by Kirby, directed by Josh Liveright, an amazing play. It was just a great play. Well, I played a guy who was like really normal. It was a siren. It was really normal or seemingly normal in real life, whatever. But he had this secret fantasy life online, and it was kind of weird. It was kind of kinky or whatever, And now a lot of times, like if I walk through the basement and Oswaldo is with like the UPS guy, Oswaldo will say to the UPS guy, "Hey, stay away from him. He's a pervert." Just stuff like that. It just cracks me up. And I'm always like when Oswaldo comes to repair stuff, I'll be like, I'm working on a computer. Don't come in here. And I'll be like, Mr. K, get off the computer. And he starts yelling at me. So another thing is I was in a James Bosley play where I was a guy who wanted to sell this piece of artwork to put his kid through college and everything. Well, now I tell Oswaldo that I'm going to sell the mural in our lobby. I'm like, "Hey, Oswaldo, I'm going to put the mural in the lobby. I'm putting it up on eBay." And he's like, "What? You can't do that." So he just plays right along. I'm like, "Hey, shh. I'm going to need you to like help me get it down and to ship it out. And I'm going to cut you in, man." And a lot of times he'll come to me and he'll be like, "Where's my money? Where's my money?" And I'm like, "Hey, man," and then I sort of like incorporate other people in the building. I'm like, "Hey, man, Walter's the money guy, man. You got to talk to Walter." So we have this whole thing. One more Oswaldo shenanigans. So he always comes in when I'm doing laundry. And I told him, I said, Walt, I'm sorry, Oswaldo. I said, "Oh, Oswaldo, I'm gonna start a laundry business." And he's like, "What?" I said, yeah, I'm gonna start a laundry business in the building, and it's gonna be $40 a load of laundry. He's like, that's too much. You can't charge that. And so I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I'm not forcing people to use my services. So we have this like funny argument back and forth about how $40 is way too much to be charging for laundry. And this person came in one time, and he said to her, like, tell her your idea. And I said, look, I'm going to start a laundry business, and I'm going to charge $40 a load. And she was like, that's way too much. And I thought she was playing along too, but she was not playing along. She was seriously telling me that $40 is way too much to be charging for a load of laundry. Well, I thought she was playing along. One day I'm walking out of the building, and she stops and she's like, Matt, can I talk to you for a minute? I'm like, sure. She's like, oh, I feel so bad that I was, shooting down your laundry business idea. She's like, I think you should go for it. And I'm like, oh, no, actually, I was just kidding. She's like, what? I'm like, yeah. Anyway, somebody else. I was on a Zoom meeting in our building. We're trying to do there's a lot of stuff that's going on, but so every time I chimed into the meeting on the Zoom, I would say like, yeah, this is Matt 4D, and so it became this running thing. And this one person in our building who I don't know, she, at the end of the meeting, she said, oh, by the way, Matt, what apartment are you in? But anyway, so I saw her outside. I was like, you play? Oh man, this is great. So that's my list of people who I like to play with. And something else that a friend of mine gave me this title, and he gave me he sort of created what would you call it? Like a theme song for me. It takes me a while to process things. Like a lot of times people will ask me a question or something, and it'll take me a long time. It doesn't feel that long to me, but apparently it takes a long time for me to answer sometimes, or it seems like I've checked out. But when I actually haven't, I've just like, I sort of get stuck on something, or not stuck, but I sort of think about something, and it takes a long time to process. So my friend Todd, he came up with a theme song for me, and it goes like this. It goes, "'Cause he's 3 minutes later, Matt. 3 minutes later, Matt." And it's kind of like a rock anthem, like an 80s rock anthem. Anyway, I'll give you an example of something that's kind of like a 3 minute later, Matt type of thing. Tracy, my wife, Tracy worked at a restaurant, and there was this woman came in, this old woman who always came in, and she brought candy for people. And then she worked she gave out the hearing devices in a Broadway theater. And then at this time she was working in the theater that did the play, the musical Once. So Tracy always engaged her. She was an older woman. As it turns out, she was on Broadway herself a very long time ago in Flower Drum Song. And Tracy and her just had this real connection. She always brought like Mary Janes for Tracy and stuff like that. Always had a bag of candy. Well, she says to Tracy, like, tell your husband and your daughter can come see Once. And she said, I'll just let you in. And Tracy's like, I don't know, can you do that with Broadway? Can you just like sort of let someone? She's like, yes, you'll come to the door, you'll talk to the house manager, and the house manager will see, it'll be fine. So we're all, we're feeling like this is a little, we're not really sure if it's going to work out. Anyway, it worked out great. And we had these amazing seats, and it was just a perfect night. And we watched the musical Once, and I'm bawling, I'm crying. And I look over and I see Una is weeping, she's crying, and Tracy's crying. And we're all just, totally crying. afterwards we jump in a cab to come home, and I was still affected by it. No, I was like, wow. I was like, siren going by. I was like, wow, it's just like, is this, man, this is just, it's got me, I was like, and Tracy and Una are like, yeah, it was amazing. And I was like, yeah, just the fact that oh, by the way, this is a spoiler alert. I hope that's okay. But I'm like, just the fact that he stayed there and he didn't go to New York. And they both stopped and they're like, what? I was like, just the fact that he stayed there in Ireland and bought her that piano and I guess used the money from the airline tickets or something. They're like, what did you see? They're like, what are you talking about? He didn't stay. I was like, what? They're like, no, that's the whole point. He didn't stay. I was like, oh, okay. So that's a 3-minute later Matt example. Another one. Una says to me, Dad, you have to listen to this version of Midnight Train to Georgia. It's Regina Love sings it. Not the Gladys Knight version, but Regina Love. And Una's like, yeah, Dad, you have to listen to it. This is amazing. So I listened to it and it's like I heard it for the first time. And I was like, oh my gosh, it was amazing. And I said to her, I was like, this is such a beautiful song because it's like ultimately about an actor. I so identify with it, like giving up his dream and then going back and leaving her in Los Angeles. And Una's like, what are you talking? She's like, no. Una's like, no, she got on the train. She's like, Dad, that's the whole song. I'm getting on the train. I'm like, oh, okay. So anyway, so let's go ahead and unmute. And I hope you stayed with me on those on that little journey there. So I was wondering, is there? I was wondering if there is someone in your life that is like totally game for whatever you are up for, like someone who will go on that ride with you, no matter what. Someone who will play, and if not that, is there some sort of quirk that you have, like something that makes you unique, sort of like 3-minute later Matt? Or was there anything that, these stories, that they sort of evoke any story or anything, any experience in your life? I'm curious. You can go ahead, unmute. Anyone?
Well, the first thing I thought of when you said who's up to play was I work with 3-year-olds. They all are. So every day it's like, how sometimes people are saying, oh, a theater degree isn't good for anything and blah, blah, blah. I use my improv skills every single day and I have to be up for playing all the time, and for how to deal with situations, like conflict resolution, and doing it in a playful way. Which reminded me actually of Jamina, because she was in my class. That's their granddaughter.
Yeah, and, Kirsten's daughter. Kirsten's on the call.
And I can't remember exactly what she said, but I was like joking around and saying, wow, well, you're really like the smartest person in the room or something like that. And she's like, no, I'm not. You're a teacher or something like that. And I was just like, okay, I guess you're not up for playing today.
Yeah.
With that little hands on her hip thing.
Yeah. So, she's like, I hope not.
Yeah, really. Like,
I hope there's someone in here that knows more than me.
Smarter than I did. Yeah.
That is so funny.
But I always have a room full. Well, not always, not for the last year. But starting on Monday, we'll have some kids. But yeah, always the kids, always. And it's really wonderful.
Yeah.
Some friends too.
Yeah. They're always up to play. Right?
Who, my friends?
Kids.
The kids. Okay. You're always up to play.
Truth. Truth. Thank you so much. Is anyone else?
Well, for me, I was thinking, I think all you guys are so good with playing, and people always make a joke, and people call me so literal because it takes me, if you're a 3-minute Matt, I'm probably 10-minute Trisha. So even if I want to play, it takes me a while to realize, oh my God, they're joking. And even if I'm married to Tony, who has a dry sense of humor, after 20 years, when he's joking, like he'll say something happened, and I'm like, really? It happened? And then he's like, no, I was kidding.
So you're gullible.
Super gullible.
Yeah. Super gullible. That could be your superpower.
Gullible. Yes. But I was thinking about this one time I was flying from New York to the Philippines, and maybe, all the airplane air. So I had a big stack of fashion magazines. So I had the Vogue September issue. And then this older woman who was sitting next to me said, "Are you a fashion major?" So I said, "Oh, I'm going to play." So I said, "Yeah, I go to FIT." And then so she was asking me what classes I took, and my sister went to FIT, so I told her all of my sister's classes.
That's hysterical.
And then she said, "Do you know Professor blah, blah, blah? She teaches that class."
What did you say?
I said, "No." And then I pretended to go to sleep.
And how long did you pretend you were asleep?
I think I changed seats when she left to go to the bathroom. I was so embarrassed.
You're hysterical.
Very few times I play and I get caught.
You solved well, though.
But I don't know if you got caught.
I
Do you
don't
think
know.
I don't think you got caught.
I'll never know. And I was thinking that's why it's fun if you're on the airplane, right? People can never check, but I guess you can.
But Trisha, I think you got away with it.
We'll see.
That's the story I'm writing. Wow, that's amazing. That story took a turn. Like I didn't think like it was gonna go in that direction, but
I'm trying to be quick-witted like you guys, but I think I'm still in the gullible
no, I think
area.
no, I don't think I'm quick-witted. I think I'm slow. Hey, does anyone else have a story? Gretchen, I think you're muted.
It's not really a story of playing and pretend, like being in a character, but that's one of the things I love about riding the subway, and I missed a lot during the pandemic, is when I'm in the right mood on the subway and can find that one person who will engage with me about whatever it is to engage about, even if someone gets on the subway and like looks especially like dapper. Like I remember one time this kind of older African-American gentleman came in and he was dressed like a certain period, like he had the straw hat and, a certain kind of tie and like a seersucker suit. And I just said, "Damn, you look so great." And he was just like, "Thank you," and told me about his outfit. And I like, those are the interactions that I really miss. And another interaction I had on the subway was when I first got my puppy, and I was sitting, the puppy was in a bag, so no one really noticed him. And everybody was just in a dour mood. And then this woman sat next to me, and she was also she had some interaction getting in the subway that she was angry about, like told someone to move. And so I just turned to her and I said, "Do you like puppies?" And she like looked at me like I was a crazy person. And I said, "Because I have a puppy." And we ended up having this great conversation about, "Oh my God, I want to get a puppy," and this and that, it's like, and when people will engage, and definitely I've had plenty of times where I've tried to engage with someone on the subway and they shut me off like I'm the crazy person, I better stay away. And I get that too. But in the times where you can go and, find someone's story, it's just, it happens often enough that I miss it in the past year.
Yeah. I love how you're just like, oh, really? Do you like puppies? Yes, puppies.
Well, just the fact that I could change this woman's kind of angry mood to,
What was she angry at?
it was a year ago as it is. So, it was she had some interaction with someone coming in the subway, and she like had words with someone. And so it was just really fun to, and there was another time, just because I'm thinking about it, that I remember listening to music and I was so happy because I had recently gone to a show at my son's school, Declan's school, and he had surprised us with playing the drums in the band, and he was awesome. And I'm listening to it.
He was awesome.
I'm listening to it on my headphones, and I had just learned this like the day before, and I'm just smiling and listening to what I had taped from the day before. And this guy was looking at me, and I took off my headphones and I said, I just found out my son plays the drums and he was amazing in this show. And anybody else would be like, yeah, right, lady. But he was like, oh my gosh, that's so fantastic. It's like, what a blessing and a surprise. So anyway, I love those interactions when complete strangers aren't afraid to, continue the mood.
Awesome. Got my fodder. Hope this isn't terrible. Can you see? You're gorgeous. Oh God, you are gorgeous. Oh, thank you. Thank you thank you. That's really, no, you are, seriously, are you a model? Are you a model? Are you in fashion? Yeah. Yeah, I am in fashion. I am a high fashion model. Yeah, I thank you for noticing. Good God, look at those cheekbones. They're like chiseled out of stone, and those eyes and the long, gorgeous hair. Look at you, you're so dapper. Yeah, so thank you very much. I'm a model. I'm a high fashion model. I wasn't a high fashion model, but I always wanted to be one. And when that guy saw that in me on the train, on the plane, or wherever, I don't even know what mode of transportation I was on, because he saw the true me. And at that moment, I peeled away everything else. I peeled away the office job. I peeled away the weekend work in the restaurant. I peeled it all away. And I was a high fashion model. And I was walking the runway back and forth. And I was me. I was me. I was truly me. And I went back in time, and I was trying to figure out where it all went off. Where I was trying to figure out, like, the moment when I went off the rails and I became the thing that I wasn't supposed to become. I don't know what it was. And I think all the way back, and I'm like, hey, whoa, that's an awfully big book for a 3-year-old.
I just like the cover. I just like the picture. I just like the way his robe flows, and I like the way he points his fingers. It's just like the pictures.
You must be the smartest. You gotta be the smartest kid in the room to be able to read that book.
Well, like I said, I'm not necessarily reading it. I'm just looking at the pictures, and I just like to bring it with me. Oh, look at the back. See what I'm saying? I just like to bring it with me. It's sort of like a transitional device from home. When I come when I come to pre-K, I like to bring a transitional device. You know what a transitional, I'm telling you, you are a smart kid. You're probably the smartest kid in the room. I don't even know what a transitional device is. You don't know what a transitional device is? You're a pre-K teacher? It's a device. It's something that a kid brings with them, to bring a piece of home with them so that they could be secure. Well, here, give me that book. Ah! You take a transitional device. I'm gonna read this book. I'm gonna read this book so I don't feel so insecure that 3-year-olds smarter than me. Maybe that was it. Maybe that was the moment that I started to go off the rails a little bit. Oh God. Oh God. They took the book away from me, and I never got the book back. I never got the book back. It had the book with the picture. It was the Harry Potter book. Oh God. And I spent my whole life not knowing why, not knowing why I'm doing what I'm doing, not knowing what I'm doing, just riding the train all the time. Get the hell out of my way. Get the hell out of my way. Oh, Jesus. What? God damn you. Fuck you. Fuck you, you fucking asshole. You motherfucking asshole. You push me. Shut up. Shut up. I don't care. I just hate my life. And I gotta get on this train. I gotta go to work. Oh, God. You stink. You stink like shit. What? Hey. Hey. Don't want to get you. What? Why don't you shut up too? Oh, yeah? Look what I've got. A puppy! Oh, God. Oh, God, I love puppies. May I? Yes, you may. Oh. It's so beautiful. Oh. It's so young and it's so beautiful. It reminds me of my childhood. I had a stuffed animal. I had a stuffed dog. I used to bring that stuffed dog with me everywhere. It was a transitional device. A what? A transitional device. It's a thing that you bring from home. It's a piece of home that you bring with you. And it's like a security blanket. Well, one day I lost it. And I never found it. And from that day on, oh God, was it that day? Oh God, I think it was that day. Oh God, that was the day that it started. Oh, I'm sorry, but Miss, I'm going to give you your dog back. Although I really don't feel like it. I feel like just jumping off the train and running far, far away with this dog and living with it and never giving it back to you. But I don't need to do that because I can carry this dog with me forevermore. Keep the dog. What? Keep the dog. What? Do you have shit in your ears? Keep the dog. I've got more. I've got puppies for everyone. What? The lady's got puppies for everyone. And this woman, she gave out, you're not gonna believe it, this woman gave out puppies to everyone on the train. It was crazy. And the whole train was happy. And everyone went back. They sort of just went back to I don't know, or something.
I'm holding myself as a little baby. This is me as a little baby. I've come back in time, back to the nursery where I was. I found myself. That's my superpower. Time travel is my superpower. A lot of people, they have other superpowers. I have a friend whose superpower is gullibility. They're super gullible. No, really, I do have a friend that's I have a friend whose superpower is gotcha. Must be you. Must be you. Putting me down. Putting me down physically. I'm not putting me down like you're nothing, you're no good. I'm putting me down so I can talk to you more about your superpower. See, here's the thing. Everyone's got superpower, man. Your superpower is gullibility. For real. You believe me when I told you your superpower is gullibility, right? Earlier. And then it dawned on me that your superpower was gullibility. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying there? Look at me rocking myself. I went back in time and I parented myself. I had to fucking reparent myself. Because shit went off the fucking rail. That's what I'm saying, right? That's what I'm saying. I had to go back and fucking parent myself. But you gullible. Your superpower is gullibility. Run with it. Run with it. Run with it. Go, 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 go. Hey, your shoe's untied. What? Oh, hey, got you. And everyone laughed. And the whole world, with people carrying puppies, people coming up on 59th Street carrying puppies. They were happy with the puppies. And yet they saw me and said, your shoe's untied. I looked down, I was running. I said, what? Thinking my shoe was untied, but it wasn't. That made them laugh. And their skulls almost cracked open with joy because they were carrying puppies and they were laughing at me. I was the lightning bolt. I was the lightning bolt that they're teasing, and I believed it, but I don't care. I don't care because that's who I am. That is who I am. Most superheroes, they have to put on a suit. I have to take off a suit. Well, I mean, I guess Superman's got to take off his suit before he becomes. Yeah, oh, Jesus, I never saw that metaphor before. Good God. Most people wrongly interpret the superhero thing, thinking that they're putting on a suit, but really they're taking off a suit. Oh, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Yes. Jesus Christ. Yes. I'm Jesus Christ. You are? Psych. No. So freaking gullible. But yeah, I am the Lord. Holy shit. You look amazing. You look so, can I tell you something? You could be a model. You could be a model. I what? No, I couldn't be a supermodel. I came to save the world. I came to die for your sins. No, man. No, man. Who told you that? Who told you had to be that way? You don't have to be that way. Look at the way you are wearing that fabric. It just drapes on you, man. It drapes on you. Go, girl, go. He still got crucified, but when he was walking with that cross, he looked dynamite. He looked far out. He looked fierce. And people were like, he walked past people and people, they stopped cheering and they were like, whoa, whoa. He could cut a line. Whoa, 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 whoa. Just going on
on this train, man. Just riding on this train called life. That's all we're doing. It's just a train. Just riding on this train called life. Yeah. Excuse me? I said, we're just riding on this train called life. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. I was listening to Little Shop of Horrors. My son is an amazing drummer. You should listen. And the man listened, and the rhythm got into his soul, and the man started to dance, and he was in his beautiful, dapper clothing, and he looked sick, man. He looked sick in a good way, and he was cutting the rug, and he was dancing to the beat, and then he took out the headphones and he cranked the music for all to hear. And the band cranked the music for all to hear. The rhythm of the boy playing the drums that was not discovered until he was a teenager. What? Where did that come from? He sang the song that was in the beat of the drum as the puppy whined, and people said, oh, 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 oh. Ooh, 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 ooh. And someone said, your shoes untied. And that person said, what? And they laughed and they laughed and they held their puppies and they danced and they walked the runway and they felt like models and they kept on going in that train called life, going superheroes, each one accessing within them the superhero that is them. Peace. That was it.
Oh my God.
Oh shit. Oh my God.
Woo! That was great.
So
Bravo!
thank you. Thank you so much for joining. I'm going to let you go in just a couple of minutes, but I've got this book right here, and I sort of type up all of these crazy ideas that I think might be funny. So I'll give you a couple, and then we can wrap up for the night. All right. So again, I really appreciate everyone being here. Okay, this is a character. This is the guy who rhymes goodbyes to be cool. All right. See you later, alligator. In a while, crocodile. As you wish, tuna fish. You the man, soda can. Let's do lunch, Hawaiian punch. Sounds good, Robin Hood. I'll be there, teddy bear. Me too, McCoo. Got a jet, Mama Sat. That was fun, John Dunn. My treat, Pistol Pete. All right. Now this is the guy, this is another character. This is the guy who thinks he's rhyming goodbyes, but he's not. They don't actually rhyme. Let's do this again, baked potato. You're on, avocado toast. You know it, Tommy. That was on fire, Donna. That was lit, William. I hear you, meter maid. All right, so these are just sneezing in different dialects. That was French. Achoo! Wait, that was Irish. That was bad though. Achoo! That was German. I can't do Australian. Anyway, I subscribe to something called dictionary.com, word of the day. So each day I get a new word. And one word, this was back on August 30th. The word was metrophobia. Does anyone know what metrophobia is?
Afraid of cities?
No, that's what I thought it was. It's not. It's the fear of poetry.
What?
And I was wondering, like, how does one develop the fear of poetry? And I think that it probably goes back to, like, you hear the sirens? I guess it probably goes back. It's got to go back to like it's got to go back. It has to have that fear has to have its roots in schooling, I would imagine, right? I would think. In 8th grade, I went to, I had a nun for 8th grade, and we had to memorize Annabel Lee by Edgar Allan Poe. And we had to line up at the nun's desk, like line up down the hall, down the aisle, and come up. And she would sit there like this and like listen, and you had to stand next to her and recite it. She didn't look at you, she just like sort of sat there. And this one kid, his name was Joe, and he was very nervous. And you had to say Annabel Lee by Edgar Allan Poe. And he said, Edgar Allan Poe by Annabel Lee. Oh. And I just remember him going, oh. And she went, you ninny. And she hit him. Great story, Matt. Great story. Great story.
I was gonna say Edgar Allan Poe because I memorized Annabel Lee with my father used to memorize poetry. So that's so weird.
Do you have metrophobia? Are you metrophobic? All right, ready? I was a child and she was a child in this kingdom by the sea.
We love the love that was more than
More
love.
than a love.
Everyone.
I am my Annabelle Lee.
I love that one.
We loved with a love that the winged seraphs of heaven. Is that Jeff Ward?
Yeah, that's me, baby.
Coveted her and me. Can you bring us home, Jeff?
No, I'm not gonna do it. No, I can't walk. My mother's ghost would slaughter me.
But if you did it?
No, if I got it wrong, her ghost would slaughter me. Yeah, she was an English teacher. She loved Poe and especially that poem. Yeah. I know I have a little bit of metrophobia about all this, I have to say.
Do you really?
Do you have metrophobia? Is it a fear of meter? Yeah.
That must be it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
superpower, Latin.
Look at you, Jeff Ward. Look at you figuring out the root. Is it the root?
The lexicographer. No,
You're a lexicographer.
Yes. For sure. That's a word. Yes.
Yes.
A meter
owned it.
maid.
Yeah. By the way, hey, Matt, I just would love to say that I think Gretchen is exactly right. The very best thing about New York is random witty exchanges with strangers. I'm sure you get that maybe in other cities, but definitely in New York, and that's certainly the best thing here. Come on, man.
Do you have one, Jeff?
I've had a lot with you because I tend to run into you. One thing is that I definitely say whenever a cashier says that'll be 1862, I always say, oh, that's the year I was born. And the standard response is debit or credit. Sometimes somebody wants to play and will say, oh, what's your secret? Tequila? Or, I mean, there are random New Yorkers who will rise to the occasion, and it's great. And then I ran into you on 65th Street one time, and I said, oh, Matt, I'm so sorry I'm late. And then it turned into a whole, because with you, the odds are you're probably going to be willing to play. And you did, in fact, and you wound up, for some reason, on my back, right in front of Dan Rather's house.
Yeah.
And that's just how it goes. Oh, my God, New York, New York.
What a wonderful town. New York, New York.
Someone should write a song.
Someone should write a song.
It's not too late.
New York, New York, what a wonderful town. Uptown, da, 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 da.
Yeah. See you later, alligator. Let's do it.
See you later, alligator. You're
In
a
our
fake
kingdom by the
potato.
sea.
All right. Well, Thank you so much for joining. And the Golden Globes are going to start in 7 minutes. So I'm going to let you out of class early.
You're a good warm-up act, Matt. I mean,
Thank you.
well, you know, you'd
Thank
be
you,
a
Matt.
headliner too.
Yeah, and thank you so much for everyone who shared. I hope that I handled everything with the respect that it deserves. So thank you so much, everyone.
Thank
Bye,
you,
Matt. Thank you.
Everybody.
God bless you, Matt.
Yep.
God bless you.
And God bless you, Josh.
I love you so.
And I love you so.
Get in line.
Got room.
We should go back into that closet again. Remember when you did the Mickey Rourke one?
Oh, no.
What? Refresh my memory.
Remember when we were in that tiny room with Nick and the piano? And
Yeah.
you were Mickey Rourke's assistant?
Yeah, we like what a privilege like this for me, like the experiences I've had sort of doing this thing. Josh and I have had the experience of just being in a yoga studio at night on a Sunday night, just improvising and no one else there. And that for me was just like beautiful. But we were in this tiny little shoebox of a room at Ripley Greer with no windows or anything. And we turned out the lights, I think, right?
Yes,
And it
we
was
did the whole thing with the in the dark. Yes.
It pitch black.
Yep.
It was dope.
It was like doing ayahuasca together. That
Yeah.
other one.
Without the ayahuasca.
Well, you didn't know. I mean, remember that bottled water I gave you?
I think you gave that to the dragon, if I'm not mistaken.
Dragon.
Wait, I was the
playing.
dragon.
No playing.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Bye.
Everybody.
Bye.
Just leave it till everybody goes.
Okay.